Now, of course, they're going to blame the Conservatives. They're going to blame Brexit. They're going to blame Nigel Farage. They're going to blame this. They're going to blame that. But the simple truth of the matter is, although they think that we don't know, everybody knows that the reason we're in the mess that we're in is because of Labour.
We've all been lied to our whole lives. Can't you bloody tell? Across the ocean.
Well, hello, you gorgeous mother truckers, you, and welcome to another video. And just for a change, I'm not going to be talking about the gas leak on the A45. Although I must admit the traffic is quite horrendous this morning. It's took a while to get around, but it is what it is. So, Rachel Reeves, Rachel from account, Rachel Thieves, Hair by Lego Reeves, the architect of one of the most rapid destructions of an economy in history. Well, I would say in history, as close to the 1920s crash as possible. Now, of course, they're going to blame the Conservatives. They're going to blame Brexit. They're going to blame Nigel Farage. They're going to blame this. They're going to blame that. But the simple truth of the matter is, although they think that we don't know, everybody knows that the reason we're in the mess that we're in is because of Labour, because of socialism. It's so obvious even to the layman. I mean, I ain't no financial expert, but even I, in fact, even my 10-year-old daughter understands the principle of living within your means. She understands that if you only have, in the example that she used with me, if Daddy, I have £10 and it's costing me £15 to do what I need to do, that's not a good thing. And as much as I have my issues with reform, Nigel Farage standing up yesterday, was it yesterday or Saturday? I can't remember. Saturday probably. No, yeah, it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It's already been a madness. And pointing the glaring truth out makes him the most evil man in the world. What he's saying financially is correct. We cannot afford to continue in the way that we are. Problem is people like me and Nigel and other logical human beings, including my 10-year-old daughter, who understands you can't live without your means, isn't in charge. Who is in charge is, well, Rachel Reeves is the figurehead. Torsten Bell end. He's the man who's actually doing the writing of the budget and the creation of the budget, and he's a complete socialist lunatic madman. These two people think that the way to solve the problem, which has been created by them taxing everybody, is not to say maybe reverse taxes and make it so more money can flow into people's pockets. No, what we need to do is to tax even more heavily, because that worked the first time. You see, for instance, Rachel and Bridget Phillipson, in a spiteful revenge, slapped VAT on private schools, because it's only fair that they pay their fair share. Even though, of course, people who do send their children to private school, and of course there is this illusion that it's just the super rich that do that. Actually, there are a lot of working class families who scrimp and save to give their children the best opportunity that they can. So they think that it's unfair that they get an advantage, even though those people who have scrimped and saved to send their children to a private school have, via their taxes, already paid for a place in state school, which they're not taking. So in reality, if you send your child to private school, you've paid twice. But no, we can't do that. It's not fair. So we'll VAT it, and that'll free up a load of money that can go back into the education. Well, it didn't, did it? It went into housing. He's going to free up a load of money, and that will solve all the education problems, and it'll stick it up the arse of the rich and the entitled, which they have no realisation of the vast majority of people who go to private schools. The hugest chunk of that is SEND kids. So this is going to generate X amount. I can't remember exactly what she said. Except, of course, what happened was most of these schools closed because they couldn't, the people who were the students in it couldn't afford to pay the tax increase. So the school closed. Now, the problem with that is the school, which was already taking quite a bit of, should we say, the surplus, a bit like private medical care. You know, takes a little bit of the strain off the state system. Well, that's gone now. So all these children now need to go to a state school. Problem being is there isn't any spaces at these state schools, so they've got nowhere to go. And because the schools have closed, no one's paying in, so the tax isn't being collected. So in reality, it's actually cost the Treasury more than it has actually gained. So that was such a good idea that they decided to do the same for, that's right, private medical care. And tax that at the right rate, because that'll help. But of course, what happens is people can't afford to go private anymore, so they have to go back to the NHS, which of course increases the pressures on the NHS, which is already collapsing because that works so well. But so we can already see just two tax ideas which were going to bring in loads of money have completely failed. And we're not even going to go into the bit where we've actually spaffed billions abroad. I mean, we spent millions teaching people in a foreign country to speak English. Presumably so they can get on a boat and come here. Because, of course, we can cope with it. But so the budget's coming up. I'm going to do a special video on that when we get a bit closer. We'll start talking about the rumours and what's going to potentially happen as we get closer. It's 26th of November. As we get closer to that date. Because it's going to be catastrophic. So we have that with a Chancellor who really isn't writing the budget, who's basically going to be the scapegoat for when it all goes wrong because he'll sack her. Look, I'm listening to you. Yeah, but everybody will see through it because everybody can see it coming in any case, you dickhead Kia. So we've got that. And then, of course, we've got Rachel Reeves' property rental issue, which I haven't commented on because it happened while I was away. And I wasn't going to do anything while I was away. So I'm a little bit behind, but we'll catch up. We can roll it all into one. So she had a house which she rented out, but didn't have a license to do so because it was an oversight, apparently, even though she spent many, many years campaigning for said licenses to be introduced. So she was an active campaign about these licenses. And even though one of the letting agencies said, oh, it was our mistake, another one went, no, we told her. And then there's the, I didn't know anything about it, but then the emails confirming that she did know about it because she kept asking the letting agencies about it. But of course, because Keir Starmer went, there's not a problem here. The Labour Party's investigation, well, she said it, she didn't do it on purpose. Again. And the thing is, a lot of people go, oh, yeah, you want to sack. But the thing is, when you use your election promises to turn around and go, we're not going to be like the other lot, and then promptly become just like the other lot, will anything happen to Rachel? No. She's not going to get sacked over the over this rental thing at all. It's that little bit of information will be in the back pocket. What will actually happen is she'll deliver the budget that Torsten Bell wrote. It will be massively unpopular, and then Keir will go, well, with the rental scandal and this, your position's untenable. I'm listening to you, British public, and he'll sack her then. He'll throw her under the bus. Just like he threw, let's be brutally honest, Angela Rayner under the bus because she was threatening to become leader. and then all of this stuff came out, and then she was just thrown under the bus, because Keir Starmer really does like to throw a lot of people under the bus when it suits him. So Rachel's probably sitting there now, and the thing is, it's just like every other Labour MP. They all sit there, you know, with this meme running, because that's what they think. Everything's fine. They don't know what the fuck you're all going on about. We'll put more money in your pocket. Really? Are we really? I don't think we are. I mean, then we'll talk about it in another video. We'll just skirt here. Like, for instance, the BBC TV licence going up again. So you're paying even more money for absolute fucking steaming piles of shit. And we'll cover that in another video, because there's obviously something else that we need to discuss about the BBC. Revelations abound. No surprise, really, though. Right then. Throat's dry, I need a coffee. Need to get home. So, I'm done. Ways to support the channel down below, only if you can afford to, of course. No pressure whatsoever. If you like what I'm doing, agree with what I'm saying, just hit the subscribe button. Or if you just want to piss off a Left Waffer member, join. It's completely free, and it might upset the right people. You can like, you can share, you can comment. Now, YouTube has a tendency to delete some comments, so coming up in a big magic puff of blue smoke, Gobster talks@yahoo.com is an email address where you could email me, and some people have, and thank you very much, and I will eventually get round to replying to you. It's just you have to give me a bit of time to do that, but that's there for you. You can also direct message me on X and on Facebook. Also, don't forget I am on TikTok now, which is just another way of getting things out as and when. So, and if you do subscribe, ding the bell and select it to all. And this will give you the illusion that YouTube are going to give you a notification when I've done another video. 9 times out of 10 they don't, but it's there if you need to. Any case, that's it. I'm done. So, until the next one.
You said to me that